Hi, my name is Joy Anderson, and I'd like to welcome you to the Haunted Weldon House.
My name is Jeannie, and I'm the founder of Fresno Paranormal Investigators.
I moved in here in January 3rd, and by March 10th, I had to call Jeannie. There was an evil presence outside of the home. Everyone in the neighborhood knew about this haunted house. It's been haunted since 1940 when it was built. The original owner died in the garage, amongst a few other people that died in this home. But my problem was the evil energy was outside of the house, had now come inside. So the entire house had this overwhelming black energy of evil. And I was stuck within the confines of this house with nowhere to go. So I called Jeannie, her group came in, and immediately I felt the evil energy lift from me, and I felt a lot of light. And I felt happy and healthy once again. So since then, I've been calling her back in to come and help me talk to the ghost. She taught me how. I didn't know at the time I was a victim. That's all I knew was to be a victim. And now I can say I'm a survivor of the paranormal. And I've learned how to deal with ghosts and communications and
More so than me.
yeah, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and sexually. And I'm just glad that y'all could be here and listen to some of my horrible ghost stories, which I call paranormal ritual abuse, because it's so spooky, and that just defines it. It's just that evil at times.
We looked up. We went to the and we looked up all kinds of different things and what we could find about. There was a not a teenager but a young man that lived there that was shot and killed here. Mm-hmm. I think we found something on him. There was an old lady that passed away. I
don't know her name, but I hear her call my name.
Yeah, we've gotten several EVPs
with
of her.
There's the original owner. I know he's out in the garage. He likes to smoke cigars or pipe. I don't know the difference, but that smell is a cigar or pipe smell. And I believe he passed away in the garage, right in the coming out of the passenger's door of the garage. We pull in. Right
well,
there.
there's as far as documented deaths, I think there's four.
Four that I know of.
Deaths. 2 from fires. Mm-hmm. 1 from a shooting.
What was the old lady and the original owner who died in the garage?
Yeah,
but in
by
this,
natural causes.
Yeah. And the one that was shot here, right where we're sitting. The other one that died was in the formal dining room. Mm-hmm. And there is that female that also is seen around here that talks to Sam and tries to sexually seduce Sam.
See, now that's something else.
We believe it's a demon, incubus,
succubus, incubus type thing.
A sexual.
They've
entity.
both been experiencing that now for years.
Yeah.
And I've never really gone into detail with Joy about exactly what was taking place. But now that I've learned more about it, I was interested in what she was having to go through. Now I understand it.
Is scary, but it's not scary. Sam's is violent and scary. He gets seduced. He gets a woman turns into a horrible old lady, in his face. He goes from a beautiful woman to a horrible old hag. And I don't know how he could stand that.
Wasn't the second time she came? She brought
a man and tried to get Sam into. Sam is an all man, and he was totally against that. And then she brought another woman, so Sam said, mm-hmm. So he thought he'd watch that. He watched them have sex in the room on his bed, and what with him just watching. And then slowly they engaged Sam into giving up and being seduced by them, and then turning into the most evilest old hags you've ever seen, and screaming, and just rotten teeth, and just evil. And so many times he doesn't let that happen to him anymore. But sometimes when you're in that twilight sleep, well, you are a man, and they get you when you're just about ready to fall asleep, and they seduce you right there. in that little place, that right before you fall asleep. And Sam's been fallen victim many times right there in that
All
little
the stories you told me, I didn't understand, and I couldn't
I've heard him scream
comprehend
sometimes.
what was happening until I read a few books on it, and I read everything that he told me.
Yeah.
I read, so I know.
Mine aren't that bad. I get a guy, he's vulgar, mouth, very vulgar, and I can stand up to him, and I just kind of get vulgar back.
But it took you a long time.
It took me a long time to stand up, yeah. But
And
here's the thing,
you've managed
he does come on to me, but I don't see him. I've never felt physical reality, like a hand. Sam's felt hands and all that stuff. I feel energies. Sam feels the real deal. He feels the hands and the touching and that. I feel a wave, like it's going over my body in waves. It's a seductive wave, but I never feel hands or anything. But I hear his vulgar mouth. So basically, I'm feeling good, but I'm hearing the most vulgar, disgusting mouth.
What has made you and Sam decide to stay all these years?
We stayed because we fought back. We learned how to control
But why
the attacks.
why did you want to even deal with it? Why didn't you just say?
Because at the time we moved in here, we had no other choice. All of our money was sunk into the rental house. It was either be a survivor, or be a victim. And we chose to be survivors. I mean, that's our generation. And the best part about it was when you get the upper hand, and when you get your house back, and you learn how to deal with the ghosts and their vulgarities, it can be fun at times. When
That's why
you're in the shower or something, and he goes, "I see you. How are you? Hi." And you go, "I'm in the shower." Okay. But the worst parts is when you least expect it, and you when I'm talking to you now, it's like I'm talking with the feeling that I know the ghost is around. There are times when you don't, where you shut it down because you have to, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, sexually. I'm gonna shut you down right now. Good night. And they jump out of nowhere, and joy, call your name louder than Kmart shoppers, the loud, very loud, so loud that you don't even need a recorder. You don't even need to call someone in the next room to say, "Did you hear that?" Their jaws drop. It's that loud.
I've never heard it. I've yet to hear it.
When it learns your name,
Jeannie,
when it learns your name,
if it doesn't know it by now,
oh yeah. When it learns your name, it will say it loudly. It's got that.
Oh, we'll see.
And intelligent.
And intelligent tonight.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. The whole house was engulfed in a black mass of energy. It used to be out front of the house. When we moved in, because everyone knew it was haunted, I've lived up in the street for many years. When we moved in, the darkness came inside. It left the outside of the house and came inside. I was trapped in the entire home. First, I couldn't go in the dining room. Then I couldn't go in the living room. Then I couldn't go to the den. Then I couldn't go to the laundry room or the kitchen or the bathroom or Sam's room.
Pretty much trapped in your room.
I wound up trapped in my room, and then I got overtaken in my own room. It all happened within 3 months. It just overpowered. I called Jeannie, and her group came out. In my room, all of a sudden, I felt this overwhelming feeling of light, as if this darkness had left my body and just floated up in a way like a bad cold was finally over. I felt so normal again after 3 months, back in my body. And you are getting hit, or you are getting poked at, or your name's being called out of nowhere. It crosses a line of normal reality to paranormal, which to me sides on a ritual of some kind of abuse. And I can't take it because of the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and sexual ramifications of having a haunted house. It is. It's just disturbing. Yeah. Horrific. Haunting. Cackle.
Why do you sound so sad? Are you in pain? Did something bad happen to you? What made you scream?
Joy, when we first met you, you were pretty open and honest with us about the things that had been going on.
The sexual abuse.
I'd been out on several investigations, but never actually had anyone tell me the types of things that were happening with you. So in order for me to not believe you, I believed you, or I thought you believed what was going on, but I didn't really know the extent of it until I started to really get to know you and hear these things for myself, and it must have been just absolute hell for you.
It's horrifying when I don't see the ghost. I see the shadows. I hear him like he's just standing, like talking to you.
Yeah.
That clear. The heavy breathing. But worst of all, it's the vulgar, and he's right in my face. I like to watch you bathe. I watch you in your room. I watch you undress. I'm there. I want to get in bed with you. I want to fuck with you. I want to do it all night long, deeper, and it goes in graphics. And he's very vulgar when you least expect it. When you're walking by, and he goes, besides get out of my house, and I always ask him, are you here? And he goes, I am here. He's intelligent, but yet he's a vulgar person. All right, I'm going to tell you this one story that happened at 2 in the morning when I was on computer, and you know how addictive Facebook is, and I'm on there chatting with all my friends, and at 2 in the morning on the weekend, so why not? And right here where I'm sitting right now is where Andy died. He was shot and killed. My computer is about, 10 feet over that way? 10 to 12 feet? At 2 in the morning, I felt that there was someone standing right here. While I was at the computer desk, my back is to this area right here. It took at least 20 minutes for the full configuration of the full manifestation of Andy's ghost. He started here, and he kept walking closer to me, and every time he'd come closer, I could feel the energy come closer to me, and I could feel it getting colder and colder, and I could feel the chills coming up. It took 20 minutes for him to walk from here to there, and he was doing this on purpose. He was letting me know each time he got a little closer how my body was feeling. He got up to the back of my shoulders and put his hands on my shoulders. And I couldn't move because I allowed it. I went through the whole 20 minutes of having him come closer. And because he took his time, because I knew it was Andy and he's friendly, I allowed that to happen. But as far as what happened next, I couldn't take it. I sat there and said, boy, was this a dumb idea to do. I got
Andy?
Yeah, because I really allowed him to get in my space, to really overtake me in 20 minutes. Slowly.
Was it sexual?
No. It was just acknowledging each other for 20 minutes. You know, if you could telepathically talk to each other for 20 minutes, but we're not telepathically talking, he's like, I'm going to come up a little bit closer now. My energy is different from you. It's cold. It's got things in the air. The air changes. Static electricity that causes the goose pimples, that causes moisture in the air, that causes a coldness to wave, in and out. And as he came closer, you felt the warmth, and then you felt cold, and then you felt at ease, then you felt him like, if he could talk to you with energy, say, please don't get excited and stay calm. But when he got up to me after 20 minutes, and I allowed it to happen, and he put his hands on my shoulders, I felt him holding me as if I couldn't get away. I let it go too far. And so I jumped up from the computer, and I turned around and I spoke to him. I said, I know you're here. I said, we've been communicating telepathically, but this is my space. And I allowed you to do this because I wanted to experiment. But it's now 3 in the morning, or whatever, 2:30. It only lasted 20 minutes, so somewhere around there. And I said, I will never do this again. If you want to talk to me, no more of this full body assault. I didn't want it to be an assault, but it turned out to be.
I know what you've been through. I know what people other than my group and other people's groups have experienced, but I've never allowed myself
to be taken,
really
to
really experience. And I guess it's because of the fear,
But see, I've gotten to know him, but I allowed him to really know. I just went too far. And I wanted to thank you guys for coming out, because then I ended up calling you again to come out to my house because I went too far. And I have no one to talk to except for Sam. And when I bring you here, you help me out by letting me tell you what I did, which is kind of stupid. But also you help me talk to the ghosts, which calm them down. And every time you leave here, I feel light.
You told me that not too long ago.
Yeah.
You said, Jeannie, I haven't told you this, but do you know, whenever you come over, even though you're not investigating, there's something about you that takes
it out, and I feel light again, and I feel like the darkness is lifted, if there was any at all, that I don't understand. And I got someone to talk to, and I have I'm not a victim anymore. I'm a survivor, and I
definitely a survivor.
And I'm believed, and the fact that I live with this daily, and you're brave enough to come here, and me living up the street for 10 years, knowing how many people moved in and moved out, and the neighborhood knowing about this house. And I'm just proud to know that you accept me for staying. And when I'm stupid, you say, Joy, that was really stupid. And I've done some really stupid things. I've egged him on, like Ghost Adventures. Remember we did that with Pablo and Jesus and George and Scott. We challenged him.
Scott.
We challenged him in the dining room. Lo and behold, if you're going to challenge a ghost, make sure your friends are there the next night, because you all left that night. I went to sleep all day. I woke up that night and the rebuttal happened. And me and Sam were left with the rebuttal. And I was trying to call George. I was trying to call you. I was trying to call anyone I could. That night, very verbal, very loud, pacing this house. You could hear his boots stomping on the wood floors. Very angry. In fact, we shut our bedroom doors. In fact, I had Sam come in to my room to stay. I was that frightened. And I said, don't leave. Somebody's out there. It's obvious. And we went out. We talked to him. We're sorry. We didn't mean to antagonize you. We sat there all night long apologizing for being abusive.
Yeah.
And it took 3 days for the ghost to calm down. But when you hear pacing, it's not your normal pacing. It is like I'm a gangsta, and I'm going to stomp as much as I want to stomp. And it's a bit frightening. Okay, the first story that really was shocking was after the first couple weeks I was here, we had 2 pictures of Jesus in a glass frame hanging on the wall by the front door. It was 3 in the morning, that midnight hour, that time where everyone's asleep and the spirits are really at play around 3. The picture of Jesus flew off the wall, went 30 feet from the front foyer through the formal living room into the formal fireplace in the living room, and all the glass broke. And I shot up out of bed, and my fiance Samuel shot up out of bed, and we met in the living room as if just pulled, and there was glass spread all across the floor 8 feet, but the picture flew 30 feet. So we knew then we had a problem. That was it. And so we put the picture back up on the wall. 2 weeks to the same hour, to the same minute, that same picture flew exactly the same way into the fireplace, but this time, of course, no glass, thankfully. But still, it did the exact same thing. We put it back up on the wall, and we asked the ghost not to do that with any of our stuff. That was just too much. That was what I would call telekinetic energy of some sort, where it went 30 feet across the room by itself and broke. I would prefer to stack something nicely, but this is violence. This is vulgar. This is violence, and this is evil. It's a bit of a different melt here.
Is that what the incident that made you?
It made me call you. Yeah, when Jesus flew across the room, that would pretty much make me call anybody right then. I needed help. The whole house was black, dark, mass energy. I call it over darkness. It's just not dark, it's over dark. It overtakes you completely, and then you wind up realizing that what you thought was crazy really isn't. You know, having to face that reality was tough. You know, but just because something sounds crazy doesn't mean it is, and I've learned that.
I needed to learn that. I learned that through you.
Yeah, we learned together because I couldn't take the reality and say no. That I could just ignore the truth, and I did that way too much. And then I had to open my eyes when the EVPs we began getting were just vulgar and abusive and sexually explicit. And why so many people could not stay in this home and broke their lease. The only people that could stay were college kids and people without children. If you had a child or in a stroller, forget it. And they didn't tell you, you were gone within 3 months. So many families came and went through this home.
Are you male?
I've had a lot of terrible things happen.